All right, good evening. We'll call this meeting to order for the November 13th, 2025 Apple Valley City Council meeting. Welcome everyone this evening. For any members of the audience who have signed up to speak, when your name is called, please approach the podium to address the council. With that, the first item on our agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance, and I would ask everyone to rise and join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. The next item on our agenda is to approve the agenda. And Tom, are there any changes this evening?
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, good evening. We have no changes to tonight's agenda.
Perfect, thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
Second.
Motion from Councilmember Melander, a second from Councilmember Grendel. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? The agenda carries. The next item on our agenda is the audience participation portion of the meeting. This is for items that are not on our agenda. And Christina's telling me somebody just walked in. Gotcha, thank you. Carm, you had signed up to speak. Would you like to come forward?
Hi. Thanks for hearing me. I'm here to check on the status of what I was on here for last time with the animals getting approved to be inside of Apple Valley Senior Center if the weather's bad. I mean, if the weather's good, we actually prefer to be outside. So anyway, I just wanted to see if you guys had talked about it yet or come up with anything yet or whatever.
So as we talked about that with staff, right, there are certain rules they have to abide by with what can and can't be outside. We know we are allowing the service animals in, right, that we would allow. But I would say any decision beyond that is a policy decision that staff is able to make and have made. I don't believe we're intending to change the policy.
I wasn't aware of that, because my understanding was that it would have to be changed in your city code or whatever you call that document, that it could, you could allow other types of animals, because it really limits it. It's hard to get a service animal that, and again, I don't think most people understand what service animals really are. They are mostly just for people that are usually very disabled physically, and it's their pet, it's for them pretty much. They don't, they're not trained to go out in, like Apple Valley Library. I noticed, I was there just a little bit ago, and they have reading therapy dogs coming in where the kids read to the dogs inside, okay? And, and so my understanding was, and my request was to have that code changed to include like at least therapy dogs or emotional support animals or whatever, other types of animals besides just service, because it's hard, to find those.
When we asked staff to make those policy decisions, right, they needed to consider all the users of the facility. Mm-hmm. And the decision at this point is not to change the facility rules to allow emotional support animals, pets, other animals that are not service animals to be allowed into the facility and brought in.
Okay, so
that's the decision that has been made.
In the city council?
That is a decision staff is capable of making, and we have delegated those type of decisions to the staff that run the facilities, and we're comfortable with that.
So you guys can't change the city code on that?
What we can do and what we choose to do might be two different things. This body is comfortable with staff's ability to make those decisions and the reasons they've made them. Mm-hmm. And so we don't intend to override those decisions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I still disagree with it because I think you're kind of taking the joy away from other people that, I understand some people don't enjoy animals, but some people do, and it's like you're not giving them a voice.
We also they do have a voice, and I would just say the distinction between not being heard and not getting an answer that you agree with are different. Mm-hmm. We also have to consider those who might have allergies, right? What those animals do to the facility. We don't have a way to accommodate for all of those, and so that's why the decision is as it is.
And cats, I guess I could understand cats more, but usually most people are not allergic to dogs.
but there are people who are allergic to dogs, right? And we need to consider those. And so, I mean, I will just say that I don't believe the decision is we are going to stay with the policy we currently have.
Okay. All right. And if I have another issue, do I need to then probably come to the next city council meeting? And when is that?
I would suggest if you have issues, you address them with staff related to those issues. If they're park related or park and rec facility related, Eric Carlson, our park and rec director, would be the most expeditious way to have those heard. And
Well, the one I'm thinking of though this one isn't involving the Apple Valley Senior Center. It's involving Apple Valley Library computers.
Apple Valley Library, the libraries are run by Dakota County, so we have there's nothing on a Dakota County issue that we can help you on.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Ruth, did you have something? Sorry, I didn't see you.
I just want to reinforce that I certainly support the current policy. I have two sisters that would probably leave if some dogs were there. Forget allergies. I have two sisters who, one was attacked by a dog once, and boy, they're not high on our list.
Perfect. Thank you. Anyone else in the audience with any other topics? All right, seeing none, I will move us on to the consent agenda. And these are items that are considered routine and they'll be enacted with a single motion unless a council member or a citizen requests to pull an item. Council members, are there items you would like to pull this evening? Anyone in the audience, are there items you'd like to pull from consent? All right, seeing none, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Motion from Councilmember Grendel, a second from Councilmember Hebert. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? That item carries, and that moves us on to our regular agenda and item 5A, which is to adopt a resolution to support the Dakota County Draft 2026 to 2030 Capital Improvement Plan. Matt, all yours.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council, and it looks like our technology is working, so that's
You had to
wonderful.
say that, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, I had to say. Well, thank you once again. Just. Okay.
Mayor
That's
and
why we all.
Council, if I may, that map that we're attempting to show is also in your printed packet.
Thank you, Christina. And I do have it ready for the dot cam if we need to do it. Oh, okay. We'll do it this way. Let's see, can we zoom in a little here? Here, I'll do that. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah,
Sorry, Mayor, you can't make this up sometimes. Okay,
we'll get there. We'll get
that's
there.
what we're gonna go with right there, if you allow me a little leeway. So thank you. Once again, each year, Dakota County, as they're putting together their 5-year CIP, the update for it each year, they request that every one of the cities take a good look at that, review it, and then provide a resolution of concurrence. And that's the item that's before you tonight. Before you all entertain that motion, I just wanted to go over a few of the major projects that will be expected to occur within our city limits over the next 5 years. So let's start with, this is 42 right in the middle of town. You can see 150th Street here. That's the other term for 42. So next year, they're going to be milling and overlaying all of 42 from over here is 147th Street, so that's near Bachman's, if folks know where that is, along 42. And then going east, again, they're gonna mill and overlay the pavement, going east all through town to our eastern border at Diamond Path, which is just off the screen here, right here. And then also, just so council and the public knows, they'll be continuing on into Rosemont next year, all the way to Trunk Highway 3. So a large majority of 42 in both our town and Rosemont next year is planned for a mill and overlay. And then in 27, this is Cedar Avenue, again, right at 42. They're gonna plan to mill and overlay Cedar also, going south out of town down to County Road 9 in Lakeville. Of course, they did Cedar Avenue north of 42 this past year. And then also beginning in 27 is the major project on 42. This is the west end of West end of 42 here, so picking up at that 147th Street, going west to our western border with Burnsville, basically Redwood Lane. That's going to be the big reconstruct project. It'll be a 2-year project from 27 to 28. Going to fully reconstruct 42, including the frontage roads that we have on both the north and south sides. So people will definitely see that project. And then we have quite a few signals that the county's planning to replace. Beginning in 28, down here on 46, a signal at Galaxy in County Road 46, and then also Foliage in 46. Both planned to be done in 28. Moving back into 42, here's a signal at Pennock in 42, and then also Galaxy in 42. They are planned to be redone in 29. And then one more I wanted to mention. Over here on the western end of town, right down where McAndrews meets 140th as you go into Burnsville, the signal right there, going north is County Road 11, the signal right there is planned to also be redone in 2029. So those are a few of the highlights, if you will. I think the good news is that within the next 4 to 5 years, we all know there's a little pain with construction, but after 4 to 5 years, all of those major roads, Cedar and 42 in our city, will all be repaved and redone. So that will be a positive. With that, Mr. Mayor, we are, or the recommendation before you tonight is to adopt the resolution of support for the Dakota County 2026 to 2030 Capital Improvement Plan. And I'd be happy to take any questions.
Matt, thank you. Councilmember Bergman, you have a question, and your microphone is not on before you get started there.
Not talking loud enough? Okay. Matt, on the County Road 42 at 150th, the North Creek Greenway, the underpass in 2030. Would you like to explain that? And then I guess the other question I don't see here, I don't see anything in regards to over by they talked about it over by the Redwood swimming pool area. They were going to do an underpass there. Is that in somewhere in the plans?
Yep, it's there.
Correct. Yes. Councilmember Bergman and Council. First, you mentioned the North Creek Greenway underpass, so that is planned in 2030. And it would be an underpass or tunnel, if you will, under 42. It's just west of Johnny Cake. So it's the property just west of the new Menards. The county purchased some property there, so that's where that would be connected. And then the other one you mentioned, you were asking about a planned tunnel, also an underpass down at Redwood. That will be part of the 42 project. Yeah, I summarize that. I didn't mention everything, but there's signals with the 42 project. There's the tunnel in addition to the pavement and everything.
Okay. Thank you.
Other questions? Lisa, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. I think it's really important. My understanding is that by approving this plan, we are not financially obligating the city with any specific dollars of match, the required matching or anything at this time, correct?
Yes, Councilmember, Mr. Mayor, yes. Each one of these projects, if the county wants a city contribution, a cost share, if you will, there would then be a JPA, a joint powers agreement that would come back before you all, and you'd have a chance to vote on that. So yes, you are correct.
Just to clarify on that, we can probably expect some cost share from the county, though, on these projects, right?
That is also correct, Mr. Mayor.
Without the cost share, the project probably doesn't happen.
Yes, for most of these. I will say the mill and overlays, they did get federal money on those, so there isn't planned to be any cost share to the city. So
Yep.
that's a positive.
My only question in here, and we had a couple residents bring it up with some concerns on Jonathan, and we've heard from a few folks who live in the neighborhood of Kent, right, where there's been some discussion, right, that's access to our fire station. Is that still an ongoing discussion with the county as to protecting that access in this?
Mr. Mayor and Council, yes, that is being reviewed currently with the county, and then we'll be having further discussions with them. Of course, fire department's involved with that, as well as our engineering staff. So yes, still an ongoing issue.
And so I just want to make sure by approving this, right, we're not saying, oh, we're okay with whatever you have planned on Kent. They know there's a statement here, right, that we're still working through that issue.
Correct, yes. We did add, I didn't go over each of those conditions, but as part of your resolution, it's the last condition where we just state that. And yes, county is well aware of that. Again, that JPA would be coming back before you all, and we'll make sure that that issue is put to bed by the time that JPA comes
I
back.
know it was in the packet, I just think for public consumption, those watching, it's good to note that since we know that intersection has
Definitely.
got some attention, so. Other questions for Matt? If not, I would take a motion to adopt the resolution of support for the Dakota County Draft 2026 through 2030 Capital Improvement Plan.
So moved.
Motion from Councilmember Bergman, second from Councilmember Melander. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That item carries. Thank you. That'll move us on to staff communications, or staff and council communications. And Tom, why don't you start us off?
Mr. Mayor, yes, just a reminder of our 2026 budget open house, open to the public. This is coming up on Tuesday, November 18th. Will be held here at the Municipal Center from 4 to 6 p.m. We encourage everybody to come out if you're curious about the city's budget for 2026 and the proposed elements within that budget. This is your opportunity to come and meet with city staff, view a lot of display boards that help to tell the highlights of the 2026 budget. And we look forward to people coming out again on Tuesday, November 18th.
Great, thank you. Anything else?
Mr. Mayor, we do have the Mayor for a Day
Oh, yeah.
slides, if you would like to discuss that.
Happy to. So every year, the League of Minnesota, well, we won't see the slide, but we'll just talk through it. Every year, the League of Minnesota Cities has an essay contest for 4th, 5th, and 6th graders on what would they do if they're a mayor for a day. And so the top 4 entries, I believe, statewide, get $100 and get their article published in the Minnesota Cities Magazine, which I'm sure everybody gets and reads across the state. But we'll also get copies of any essay submissions from Apple Valley students, and we'll have a chance to kind of recognize them here. So we'd encourage students who are, I'm sure, watching this at home this evening rather than being on their phones, right, to submit that. We've also sent this out to the schools. It's kind of a fun thing to do as well. Our video staff, we shot a quick video promoting this the other day. We had all kinds of fun. I was going to bungee jump off a water tower, and we did all kinds of fun stuff, and then we just decided that we probably shouldn't do that and did a rather normal video instead. So should be fun. Encourage people to jump in and take that chance to submit their item. Anything else from you all? Council members, anything? Councilmember Grandal?
I just want to comment on the moving Veterans Days ceremonies. The school district, which I wasn't able to attend, but I've heard it might be the best one in the state. And then the Legion, it was phenomenal. Our very own Tom Goodwin received the Quilt of Valor for his service in Vietnam. And we had a World War II veteran that I have a video, I have the audio like 8 minutes when he spoke, and it's just unbelievable. POW for 15 months. He was 102 years old. And he stood up and he didn't miss a beat, and he was right on. And maybe we can put it on our website, because I think everybody should be able to hear what they went through.
Thanks for being there. Councilmember Hebert?
We're on the same page with that. I just wanted to acknowledge and thank Apple Valley High School, the principal, the teachers, and the students. It was my first time participating and attending their annual Veterans Day Assembly. And from the moment you walked in and you were greeted by the students and the breakfast and the thank you cards for the veterans and the program with the wind ensemble and the choir and the speaker, it really was outstanding. And for those people who, veterans, to come and be a part of that, don't miss that, because it's amazing. But also, the public, I know they open it to the public, and it really truly is top notch. And just wanted to say it was great to be there and acknowledge their amazing tradition of honoring our veterans.
Thank you. Councilmember Bergman?
Thanks. I concur with everybody, what they say about the presentation of the veterans at the Apple Valley High School. I would say this, or suggest this, maybe between Mr. Lowell and the mayor, maybe some of us. After all the ceremonies that were throughout the state of Minnesota, they're always put on the news. And from the time that I've been on the council or on the planning commission, I've really never seen Apple Valley be put on the news, and I think they do an outstanding, phenomenal job It's almost to the point of boot camp to start with and end with, but I think could get some good exposure by somehow connecting with the news media to present their, unless they don't want to, and they may not want to.
Well, I would say our local paper reporter, Tad Johnson, was there that day, and, you know, that ceremony is on the school's YouTube channel, so it's recorded and available for anybody who wants to pick it up and go watch it, and I would recommend doing that.
Okay. That was good. It's always good.
Anything else? If not, we will move on to our calendar of upcoming events, and our next city council meeting is Tuesday. Again, that's Tuesday, November 25th at 7 p.m. Due to the Thanksgiving holiday. The holiday tree lighting will be at 6:15 prior to the November 25th city council meeting, and we would invite everyone to join us and attend that event. With that, I would take a motion to approve the calendar of upcoming events. Motion from Councilmember Grendel,
Second.
from Councilmember Hebert. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. And opposed, the calendar is approved. Item 8 on our agenda is to convene in closed session under the labor negotiations exception to the open meeting law to discuss the AFSCME and LELS union negotiations. Do we have a motion to convene in closed session?
So moved. Second.
Motion from Councilmember Grendel, second from Councilmember Bergman. All those in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. And opposed. That item carries as well. We will convene in just a few minutes across the hall in closed session, and we will adjourn from over there. Thank you, everyone.